Hello, everybody. Welcome. Let's see. I'll go ahead and put us in queue here. Maybe. Sorry, I ended up staying up super late last night, so I just felt like I just had to get some more sleep. I'm staying up all night. I think I went to bed at like 4 p.m. or something. I just... I got something over there. Anyways, got some sleep. Hopefully we're good to go and get back to our winning ways. Alright. Let me grab... I had a new member yesterday that wanted access to the Discord.
Impure fools.
Need to be, sorry, I'm just sending out that email real quick. Okay. Team's kind of scary. I guess we'll just go with Nami. Nami into Sona doesn't feel amazing, but we don't have enough power, and especially if he's taking teleport early.
I decide what the tide will bring.
We're not gonna have kill threat, most likely. Give me one. Sorry, I'll grab the chat in just 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to do like 50 different things. I was reading someone, Lev in Discord said that there was a D3 mid laner that was talking about me on stream the other day, an EU West mid laner. That's cool. He said he enjoyed the content. Okay, says Vlad's good. Ezreal is auto-filled. Yeah. What's my dodge? Okay, thank God. Do not want an auto-filled Ezreal on my team. Although Vlad maybe could have carried it. I don't know. He's looking dicey. There's like a Wukong. Okay, the Wukong is actually pretty good. Wukong is like a strange champion in that he can be very strong. He just doesn't get played a lot. I don't know. He almost always has over a 50% win rate, but just never gets played. Okay, what's up, Shy Guy, Jake, Matt, Lappy? You're early, I'm late, so I guess we're even. But I just got caught up. Caught up doing some projects. I should have gone to sleep much earlier, but I was just kind of in the zone, and I just wanted to keep going while I was on a roll. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Duck has a confession. You're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Okay. Thank you for confessing that to us, Dedicated. I know that took a lot of strength. Wait, did I put a pun down? Or were you talking about duck? I don't know. Let's see. HCCA. Hey, what's up? What's up, Erickson? Good to see you again, friend. What's up, Scott? With the eyes. Shy Guy made it to promos for silver. It's 1 and 2. Yeah, it sucks when you can't dodge when you got an auto filler. Hey, what's up, Maverick? Great Scott. What's up, Fighting Nico? Hey, Matt. Matt6923. And Matthew. It's up to all the Matts out there. Sorry to hear that, Erickson. Yeah, I mean, plat is very fickle, especially high plat, man. I tell you what, that thing is a gate and a half. It's not a joke. I made it to plat 1 so many seasons, and sometimes it just feels like you're just flying through it. I mean, to like plat 1. I mean to say, like, there I can't even count. Like, there's so many seasons where I just fly right up there, and then by March or April, I'm in plat 1. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm just cruising, you know. I won't be challenger by the end of the year. No, I never have thought that, but I was like, oh yeah, I'll easily get diamonds, you know, in the next week or 2, right? I've been blasting through platinum, and then all of a sudden you just like hit a freaking wall in platinum 1, and a lot of it is, man, you get those D4 people, they don't give a beep anymore. Like, that's honestly, I think that's a huge thing. Positional ranking might help with that some, but it's people that once they get to diamond, they just do not think they're gonna get to masters or whatever, and they don't care, and they just play whatever they want. And so it's this weird culture where you have some people that are taking it seriously, that are trying to like move up. Then the games just feel like they get very erratic near that border, because once people get to D4, once they're across that border, they just don't think they're gonna get demoted, and so they just play whatever they want. They're like, oh, I got to diamond, so I'm good at everything. It's like, no, you're not. You're good at what got you to diamond. That's my theory about it, because yeah, platinum 1 is very different from anywhere else in platinum. Anything that lets you get placed with D4s. I'd honestly rather have a platinum 1 on my team than a D4 most of the time. Just because the platinum 1 guy still is probably going to care a little bit more. They want to get to diamond. Hey, what's up, Jolty? I mean, that's my experience. But I mean, I got platinum 1 in season 3, season 4, season 7, and then last season, season 8. Multiple times, and just never crossed that finish line to D4. I mean, I got to D4 in season 6, or D5 100 LP in season 6, and then in the preseason after last season, season 8, then I got to diamond twice. I got to diamond once, and then we fell out of it for about a week, and then we got back in. So it's like, I've done it. I've been on the other side. Doesn't feel that different. Honestly, once you get to D4, I think the games start getting a little different if you start getting into like D2, which doesn't feel like it's that much, but it's like, Caitlin. Probably just go Nami. I don't know. Yeah, let's go Nami so we can put up pressure with the Caitlyn early. Have a little bit more safety from the long.
I decide what the tide will bring.
Did you guys hear that that Russian team, the female team you're talking about, I don't remember their name. 2 teams were warned for trolling them in that league. Like, one team drew out the game one of those other competitive teams in that league drew out the game, and the score was 52-3 on them. They just didn't end the game so they could run up the score. They got a warning from Riot for doing that. Another team banned all supports, and then they got a warning from Riot for doing that. Just got placate. I'm gonna dodge that. She's autofill, never plays Caitlyn. The Warwick's good. No one else is on their main champion though. Orianna is pretty bad in solo queue in general. She's okay, but she's a role player. Yeah, I just didn't like what was going on there, so I'm just gonna wait a couple of minutes. Well, they banned whatever 5 supports. I mean, they all play supports though. Like, I think they all were supports. I mean, there have been games where like 5 of one type of champion has been banned. So I think Riot's overreacting to that one. Like, there have been games against Reckless where people have banned 580 carries before. I mean, we've seen that before. 5 different types of, like, a certain champ have been banned. Maybe they're trying to hard ban out their support. I mean, I agree with that, David, to an extent. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like what I heard. I saw this showed up on like my Google feed. Well, what the hell? I dodged it with 3 minutes left, or like 3 seconds left. God bless you, Riot. What is wrong with this client? I mean, I guess we'll play it. Jesus, this is gonna be. I mean, hopefully we get it.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
But the thing is that it's not competitive. Like, it's very obviously not competitive. I had heard that there was something where that team was trying to sign, like, they, like, missed some kind of deadline or, like, something to re-sign the guys they wanted, or there was, like, visa problems or something. I don't remember what it was. But they're, like, first option, what they wanted to do for the team fell through, and they needed to have a team, so they just decided to turn it into this, publicity stunt team and grab all these girls and put them on a team and then put them in the league, which has worked. I mean, they got a lot of publicity. They probably didn't have to pay them much. They probably weren't going to be that good anyways, that organization. So now they're culturally relevant. It didn't let me dodge. It does that like a couple of times a week. I didn't even wait till 1 second. I think it was 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, this guy's on some kind of collegiate team. Hopefully that's a good thing. I didn't see anyone with a win rate that would reflect like a Smurf. Oh, she stepped up. I thought she was actually going to auto-attack Kaisa for a second. I was like, hold on. A Caitlyn auto-attacking somebody? Wait a minute. Wait a second. We did have a really good Caitlyn last night, I think. The Trundle's on the bot side of the map. Warwick's top side, so we need to be careful. I guess we still have our flashes, so we can play up a little bit. You kind of have to push as Caitlyn. I really wish she would step up more and go for the Kaisa. I mean, I guess with Trundle here, it's a little on the dicey side. Trundle potentially here. Okay, never mind. He rotated top. Why'd she go back like that? Frontal should still be topside. They have too many minions. They can't go into us, I'm pretty sure.
First blood.
Oops. Okay, well I didn't need to actually put that ward down so we knew he was there if I was paying attention. Stupid W does so much damage early.
Boom. Headshot.
I should have just flashed the stun. I always think like it's not going to do that much damage early. It does a lot of damage early. I could have ignited him too and probably forced a heal or a flash out of him.
Boom. Headshot.
She's just gonna back. She's so injured. I'm pretty sure she's just gonna back.
Ally has been slain.
3 top. Wait, how did LeBlanc get an assist on that? Oh, they killed the Warwick, so it's 3 mid. Wait, who all got the assist? I didn't even see that bubble. LeBlanc's still middle. Pike get resets. The ulti target has a zillion R. I don't think so. I don't think he does. Good Caitlyn's like a finished EA game. That's pretty funny. Well, from what I've heard, it's a bunch of like low diamond people, you know, playing against like the Russian challenger pro scene. Or even in CS, because Caitlyn has never touched them. I mean, they always go into us first. Like, I don't know. I just don't like Caitlyn in general. The cool champ, but I have a friend who's named Caitlyn in real life, but you know, it's just people just don't play her right. Just tempo champs in general, as I always say, I just do not like tempo champs. It's like you have to be ahead early. You just don't scale enough. There are other champs that scale better. Dude, probably dead. Why would you walk into the river, man? It's like, hey, LeBlanc might be roaming down. You know what I want to do? I want to just go walk into the river. Let's see if we can go find her, you know? Let's make her life a little bit easier. See if we can go to her.
People are counting on
game's, we're just gonna lose. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping we can come back. Ribbon's not winning though. Just nobody's winning. I just don't know our win condition. It's almost like I tried to dodge or something. At 3 seconds. Orianna just, I mean, she is ahead in CS. Maybe we can win through Ori. It's just, Ori's just kind of a role player, mid laner, my experience. Most of the time, it's like, yeah, a really good Ori can get, you know, the 5-person shockwave or whatever, but they just aren't going to team fight us. They're just going to split pick with Camille. And have Camille in a side lane all game. LeBlanc's going to be hiding in a bush somewhere, waiting on somebody to rotate, potentially. And then Pyke's going to just run around and do whatever he wants. Same thing with Trundle. Got a bunch of skirmishers. Then LeBlanc's just going to roam all over us. Wait till she goes back top. She is going down in CS off these roams. I still do have... Well, here she is. Or Trundle. There she is. I have to stay. No Kleptonami. Hey, what's up, Celigora? I didn't recognize you with the new icon for a second. Yeah. I mean, I could try out Kleptonami. It'd be interesting. But Ares pretty good. Rumor on the street is. I don't know if we want to do this, bro. Come down here again. Okay, never mind. Trundle's top. Alright, so he should get a good push in here. I got it back. Yeah, they're making some mistakes. We're getting back in there. I mean, you can always get back in off of mistakes. That's for sure. But we just don't really have a victory condition yet. Maybe if Warwick gets really strong. It's just the problem is LeBlanc is roamed down here like 4 times, and she's only paid 7 CS for that. And she scales harder.
Headshot.
Caitlyn's actually behind in CS. Riven's behind, and we should be winning all of these matchups during the laning phase. But, like, nobody's on their main... Warwick's on his main champ, but I don't think anyone else is. I am. I'm a main for this patch. But, like, nobody else is. But, I mean... That's definitely was a good couple of minutes there, for sure. We're just falling behind on our tempo. We just don't really have a good cohesive comp. We kind of have a team fight comp. I mean, if Riven can outsplit Camille... Warwick does get pretty strong, I believe, at a certain point. Like, the Warwick ult plus Orianna ult is a pretty nice little combo. I can't clear that. I don't know where LeBlanc is. I don't want to pull a Caitlyn. Oh, there they are. all I can do there without my flash.
An ally has been slain.
At least put the ult on. Put the ult on her. I mean, she should have at least just ulted Kai'Sa when I was getting, like, ganged under the tower. Add in a word that rhymes with ganged. No, they're gonna get Scuttle and then they're gonna get Dragon. LeBlanc's coming down again.
An enemy has been slain. Ally has been slain.
Sure as the tides.
Where the hell? Okay, so Ori went top. Did she get a kill top? No. Did our top laner just die? I mean, I guess she's getting some stuff done top lane. I don't know. I just feel like we're not getting enough. Like, literally how many times has LeBlanc been down here? 6? 5? I mean, she did go top, but the thing is, like, should get the turret, I suppose. They got a dragon, though. So they've had 2 dragons and, like, 5 kills bottom. LeBlanc's been a part of 6 kills. Ori's been a part of 1. It's like, I don't mind if you don't follow or come down or whatever, but the thing is, like, you're not getting advantages elsewhere. And I think for the most part, we're playing relatively safe. Like, Caitlyn handed over a free kill. Maybe 2. I got killed under tower, like, not under tower, but close to tower. Without flash. I don't know. We're just getting, like, murdered mid lane, and I knew that was going to happen. LeBlanc's just way easier to win solo queue with than Satan. Someone was top. Oh, Riven. I just realized Riven has Ignite, too. Ew, so we don't even have a TP. Okay, well. Now they gotta camp Ori, because now Pike gets to roam. Yeah, I guess we're gonna get a tower for that one. For that Pike roam. Nah, stopwatch doesn't help against LeBlanc most of the time. Because she has really low cooldowns. Like, she's not, you know, her ultimate's like a 30-second cooldown, you know, like, as soon as you wake up out of stopwatch, she's just gonna kill you. Because I don't have, like, any escapes, you know, it's, on champions where stopwatch is actually effective, usually it's like you're either against a really long cooldown, like a Karthus ult or something like that, or... God, the miss. You're either against a really long cooldown, or you yourself have really short cooldowns. So, like, you have some mobility spell that's on a, you know, a 5-second cooldown, your fizz or something. You just buy that extra couple of seconds, then your cooldown's back up, and you can do stuff. LeBlanc's gonna come flying over this wall here in a second. So I don't think it's gonna save me against LeBlanc. Hey, what's up, DM? My favorite factions are probably Skaven, Dark Elves, and Vampire Counts. The old school Vampire Counts. Especially with the new Blood Kiss mechanic is very cool. I like Empire a lot also. Not enough. Like, we get an Ori ult, but it doesn't even kill anybody. I don't know. Ori's just a really outdated champ, I think. Usually. They just run us down. She didn't have enough damage to break their front line. I don't know. Or, like, when someone picks Ori, it just says to me, I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. Like, I just want to try to play something that's decent, but I don't know what I'm doing. It's kind of like Caitlyn. Someone plays Caitlyn, they're either, like, a Smurf, or they are auto-filled and just want to play something safe. When, if that is the case, you should be playing something like Miss Fortune or Ezreal. Because at least... I mean, Miss Fortune can at least pressure early, and Ezreal at least scales. No, Warhammer's its own special. It's a fantasy world. It's kind of like a War of the Rings type of thing, but it's got some different stuff going on in it. And she's dead. Well, I tried to dodge. I tried, Rito. But the game itself, the Total War game, has strategy elements to it, and so it's got like fighting, like real-time strategy, like StarCraft-esque type of stuff. I mean, this is over. Oh my god, look at that Ori ult damage. Holy... Jeez, she's got an ultimate with like 250 base damage with a 0.7 ratio. Oh my god. It's like, that just doesn't work in 2019. It just doesn't do enough damage. They need to buff her. I mean, the thing is, like, she's consistent. Like, her, she has a lot of utility. Like, that's the thing. And so they've had to nerf her for pro play. Or she's just gotten kind of overlooked for buffs, might be a better way to put it. Whereas, like, other champions have been buffed. She has not. So she's just sat there with, like, these, you know, Season 1, Season 2 ratios. Like, LeBlanc's got stuff like, I don't know, LeBlanc's mimicked ultimate or whatever does, like, 450 base damage with, like, a 1.5 ratio or something, you know? With a hell of a lot of mobility to go with it, and on like a 30-second cooldown. Versus like Oriana's, it's like average cooldown, low damage, no mobility. What the fuck is that champion, honestly? Like, LeBlanc is so dumb. Can they just delete her for the game? Like, they haven't gotten her right for, like, 5 years. Like, I don't know what's hard to do about this. You can't, either you can't mimic W. I think that's the easiest thing to do to fix her. You can't mimic W. Like, one jump, you know, 1,000 range for an all-in that's ultra safe, is it not, like, why is that not enough? You know, like, you can one-shot somebody from 1,000 range and then, like, flash back to wherever you were with no consequences. If you miss, there's no consequences.
My people are counting on me.
An ally has been slain.
Why is that not enough? Why's it got to be 2,000 range? Why can you jump twice, still one-shot someone, and go back to the previous jump? You can go forward, like, 2,000 range and backward 2,000 range, and still one-shot somebody off of, like, one item. Like, I don't understand why that seems okay. And she's ranged, so she has an easier laning phase. Like, that's why pros might actually, like, if they play any assassin, usually they play LeBlanc. Because she's stupid. Like, she's ranged also, so she doesn't lose the laning phase. Like that, like the Cassidon or something, you know? Because we can't even fight him. We don't have a win condition. Camille's gonna kill us on the split push. And they're just gonna pick us apart. No, she doesn't scale like garbage. Have you ever seen her AP ratios? She scales absurdly well. No, Riven would not be that ridiculous. Riven can be caught. Like, Riven's strong, but... Riven takes a lot more skill to play, too. I mean, LeBlanc's not, like, super easy, but she's not that hard compared to, like, her one-shot potential. I think LeBlanc comes online a lot faster than Jax. And LeBlanc's a lot safer because she can use that engage tool to escape also. I mean, Riven can definitely be a good champ, but she's a lot riskier than LeBlanc is. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this. Don't have the raw power. Oh. She's like, oh, double jump. Gonna one-shot the Nami. Oops, there's a lot of people in the bush. All right, back to where I am. No risk. I mean, if you have to have something that's like point-click, hard CC. And Riot has removed a lot of that out of the game to, like, catch the LeBlanc. You gotta have, like, a Fiddlesticks spear or something. Like, right there, if she hit me with that chain, I was probably dead. But because she missed, no problem. Like, if Riven goes in and she fails, she's dead. She goes in, she tries to get that stun, they flash it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
She's probably dead, you know?
Your turret has been destroyed.
But that's the whole thing about LeBlanc, is it's just like, she's basically risk-free. And it's such a low cooldown. Like, her ult at level 3 is like a 30-second cooldown, not including CDR. It's just up too much. Yeah, hold on. I'll do the math for you on LeBlanc here in a second.
There's always another way.
An enemy is unstoppable.
gonna take Caitlyn like 30 shots to kill that Trundle. Trundle, like, I guess he has a couple of pieces of armor, but I don't know. We just don't have enough power. Like, just enough, like, boom, we're gonna win this game. We don't have enough carry potential with this comp. Well, not every LeBlanc is going to be, like, super great. I'm not saying she's, like, Garen level sort of face roll, like, easy to play. But she's still, like, on the easy side relative to how much power she has. Yeah, I mean, she can be counterpicked by... She's kind of like Master Yi of the mid lane to an extent. She's not going to get, like, the pentakill usually, but she can very safely just slowly get one kill every time. With a very high amount of safety. Just in terms of, like, there are solutions in the game to her, they're just very limited once she gets to a certain point. Yeah, we can do that, Lotus. If you want to do a normal blitz game. 10 bucks, sure. Sounds good. Well, the way to balance LeBlanc, do not let her mimic her W. Like, that's the easiest thing. I don't know why this is so hard for Riot to figure out. Just let her jump once. She can still jump back. It's something about her mobility has to go. If we had a Vayne or something, like, just something other than Caitlyn. Even an Ezreal, we could probably win this. Just Caitlyn does no damage. Like, we need the Riven to actually be good to win this, and the Caitlyn to be playing something that's not Caitlyn. This guy hasn't read patch notes in, like, 3 years. Like, the Hurricane doesn't work with Infinity Edge. No one gets that anymore. Like, she has to get rapid fire and static shiv. I don't want her to double jump. Like, why does, like, no one else has that far, that safety? I mean, yeah, okay, so they could take away her jump back if you want to add more success to her, but that's part of, like, kind of what makes her kit work. I think that would just kill the chain. If she couldn't jump back, I don't know. They could either put a delay on her jump back to where it's like 3 seconds. I still think that would feel fairly bad. But I think a really simple, elegant solution, she'd still be good. She could still jump once and get people, but the double jump, it's just too much. Yeah, the Smurf, the thing is, Lev, the Smurf is going to take me 30 or 40 hours to play it. Oh, hold on. I was removed from the party. How does that work? How do I get removed from a party? Does that mean I left the lobby before the game started? How is it possible for me to leave a lobby when the countdown is still going? Does that mean I closed the client? Does that mean the game was not running on my end before it reached 0? Yes, it does. Why didn't it let me dodge? Like, what the fuck? It recognized I wasn't there anymore. It said it right there. Hey, we know you weren't here when the game started. You weren't in the lobby. Where were you, friend? It's like, oh, but we're still going to put you in the ranked game. Awesome. Oh, well. It's like pressing flash to dodge a skill shot, you die. Your flash never goes off, but it goes on cooldown. I can't dodge at 5 a lot of times. Like, you have to see if other people are going to dodge too. Like, that's ridiculous. Three should be enough. I mean, I dodged kind of late, and it works, but... Well, I did dodge at 2 or 3 seconds. I mean, I've dodged at almost 0 before, and it's worked. Right? Possibly a revoking split. You mean, like, resetting the season and doing away with positional ranks? I mean, I don't care. I really honestly don't care. Yeah, I need to dodge at 20 seconds. I probably do, honestly. I mean, I swear to God, I've tried to dodge one time at 13 seconds, and it still put me in the game. Like, no joke. That's happened once on stream. But I think I was lagging that day or something, but... Yeah, that's the thing, Jenny had. That's what's weird about it, is it knows I wasn't there. Because it removed me from the party. So it knows I wasn't there before the game started. Yeah, I know the thing is not like whether I should dodge or not. It's like you need to wait sometimes because other people dodge also. I shouldn't have to dodge every game where somebody's like trolling. Yeah, I remember that, Matt. Repairing the client. I don't know how to repair the client. I mean, it seems to work most of the time. Oh, Junaid. Yeah, sorry. I just glance at the names pretty much a lot of times, and sometimes I get them wrong.
Impure fools.
It registers my picks usually at the very last second. Like that's the thing on picks, like on my ban, like the last second lasts like 3 seconds. So I can walk in a ban, you know, well after the 1 second mark and still get it. I can walk in my pick well after the 1 second mark and get it. But I can't walk in a dodge within 3 seconds and get it. When I've had people, I've dodged personally a lot at like literally the very last half second. It's just very inconsistent. I mean, it's not a huge, I mean, well, who cares in the long run? Someone's asking me about the reset. I really don't care like that much. If they want to reset it, that's fine. I think that'd probably be bad PR for the game. I think a lot of people would not be happy about that. I wish they'd reset it twice a year. I wish they'd reset it in the summer also. and just do like different rewards. Or like if they want to do 3 splits, just reset it every split. Rengar. Okay, fine.
I decide what the tide will bring.
Man, I really hope this Rengar doesn't get fed. I don't know. I think it just didn't want to give it to me. It's ping or something. I don't know. It feels like I don't have a lot of ping. My ping's been like 38. It's usually about 38. 38 to 40. I'm not lagging in game. It's a 49% Sivir. I mean, I don't mind if we can win through somebody else, but 92% Fizz. What? Is he getting boosted? What the hell is dude's name? XX Fireblade 1. Oh, some of that's in normals. God, Lucian. Ugh. I guess we'll play it. I know, but that's what I'm saying is like they should just make it a more standardized thing. I think that if they do that, I think that would be bad. I think that would be really bad PR. I like the new system. I like to be able to play jungle in ranked or mid in ranked and not like completely ruin my support ranking. I think it's fun. Hey, thanks, Shy Guy. What? I have no idea why it tags you, Junaid. You literally just typed Lucian and Leona from what I can see. It's fine. I don't know what you said. You probably said something that's pretty innocuous. Yeah, I don't know either, Lev. I just looked at that. I'm like, what did he say? I have no idea. Like, the only people, I don't know. The only people where it matters, the people that complain about it are Masters people most of the time. Masters or Challenger people. And it doesn't even apply to them once they get up there. Like, their only complaint is, ooh, all these people got into Masters that shouldn't be in Masters. And now my games feel more chaotic. Well, at least I got one flash.
Minions have spawned.
It may have deleted what the message that he actually said. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm sure it's fine. It's like a 5-second timeout. Who cares? I mean, there are abuse cases for sure, but I just don't think it's widespread enough. Like, that still happens. You're still going to get boosters. You're still going to get win traders. You're still going to get people who get their off roll and don't give a flip. Like, and even if they do care, if they're off rolled, they're probably going to lose a lot of the time. I don't know. I just like being able to play different roles and not, like, in ranked, not in normals, and not have my rank ruined. So I think that would be a mistake if they change it. They spent so much time developing it. I think they just need to control the narrative and just throw out some like real statistics. Like, hey, these abuse cases only happened like 5% of the time or less, and we ban those people. A bunch of high-low people are complaining about it, but I forgot I don't have flash. That's annoying. No, I don't. We don't have a good invade team. It's not just like randomly you go invade. Like, you need to have more CC than the enemy team. Like, there are certain considerations for invading. Like, they have a Leona and an Anivia. Anivia potentially has an AoE stun with a bunch of clumped up people in a jungle.
First blood. An enemy has been slain.
It's fine, Junaid. It's not a big deal. I should have put E on her. I messed that up. Like, it's really just high elo people, but so many of them are controlling the narrative. Get a kill back. Okay. Lucian's in our minion wave. Can you beat him? She didn't have any mana, but... yeah, she's probably gonna die. I don't know.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, Riot does suck at controlling the narrative. People just look for any reason they can for his excuses why they're not doing as well as they should be. It's like, ooh, this challenger streamer said he has a problem with positional rank, or LS doesn't like it. Therefore, you know, in my silver games, that's why I can't get to gold, is because of this positional ranking. It's like, no, dude, you can't get to gold because, like, you're not warding. You know, something like that. You're dying 7 times a game. Like, it has nothing to do with positional rank. And the people that are complaining about it doesn't even apply in Challenger and Masters anymore. It's just like saying some people cheated the system and got in there. It's like, okay, but they're eventually going to fall out. I don't know. I play in Apex. No, I don't play anything else. Any other multiplayer games other than League. I just don't have time. I didn't even get that experience. I'm playing so far back, so I don't have Flash. Okay, mid was missing and Rengar was missing. Yeah, there he is. Kane is up a lot of CS, so that's good. I mean, if people want to donate for an Apex game, I could do that on stream. I'd have to download it, though, so I can't... You'd have to email me and let me know ahead of time. But yeah, if people want to donate for me to play one or multiple games of Apex, you know, we could talk about it. Just let me know what you have in mind. Yeah, we can't really push. This Rengar could be here. I thought she'd run back a little bit sooner. I was trying to anticipate her dodge there. Oof. They traded a kill top. Wait, how did Nasus get a kill off of that? Oh, Darius tried to all-in him. Oh. They're either on the dragon. I don't know. There's very few things that like beat Leona straight up 2-on-2 in a lane. I could play Zyra or something maybe, but I didn't know they were gonna pick Lucian Leona though. I've been leaving Lucian up in favor of Vayne lately. I don't know. It could be a mistake. Lucian is, like, stupid good right now. Why would she run in that little hole there instead of running, like, towards me? She could have just cut and run towards me, and then I could have blocked it. Who's fed? We need Kane to be fed. Or Fizz. I mean, we do have alternate win conditions, but Lucian's freaking 3-0.
An ally has been slain.
Top's getting like Darius is getting beaten in by a Nasus. 1-on-1. What universe are we living in? Please just let him get this kill. Kane's gonna help, maybe. Don't block it for her. I think I could have died if I blocked it for her. I don't know. I was trying to stop him with a bubble. Like, I don't know why she went that way. I'm pretty sure when she ulted, she was like right here. She could have gone up or she could have gone into there. And he was already ulting her. Like, she chose to go south. How was that in the center?
An ally has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
I can't believe that hit me in the center. Kind of game like this makes me want to play Leona, but then I know as soon as I play Leona, they're going to camp bottom hard, and they're going to pick like Ezreal plus Tom Kench or something bot lane. Yeah, guys, I didn't know that they were going to pick Leona Lucian. I can't just be like, oh, of course I could have blind picked Morgana or Tom Kench, because then if they played something like Sona, we would have been completely screwed. Like, Leona just always looks like an all-star if she gets left alone in a 2v2 lane against an enchanter. That's basically it. Yeah, but I didn't know. Once again, I'm not clairvoyant. She missed. Let's get this.
Been slain.
Well, Urgot's been nerfed a lot. He probably, if he has a 60% Urgot, it's probably he played Urgot before it got nerfed, and he was just on the OP train.
An ally has been slain.
Did she just ult? Why did she ult? What? Why are Sivir players so bad, man? It's such an easy champ. You literally just push the wave, and if they come at you, run away. That's it. Guy's getting bullied by Nasus. 3-6.
Turret plating will soon fall.
You're strange. Swim against the current.
No, it wasn't. You could have run. It's your fault you died. End of story.
Enemy killing spree.
Shouldn't have been pushed up that far. We know Leona has boots. We know she just killed middle and went into the bot river. Like, that's it. You screwed up. You died. Not that it's going to matter this game probably, but... Like, the Kane's doing alright, but that's it. We just... Everybody failed. They're just better than we are, so we lose.
Enemy rampage.
It's like, but, just one more spell, man. There's no way he could have his heal up. There's no way Leona could chain see you.
My quest.
It's like, bro, you're not playing Draven, you're playing Sivir.
Ride upon the waves.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It was kind of just a waste of time. Usually I don't give up, but everyone in this team, like, it's just so bad. We don't have any, like, we don't have a story. Like, we don't have a way to carry this. We just don't have a, like, the only win condition right now is Kane. Like, Fizz is down 20 CS and he's 1-5 against Anivia. Sivir's down, like, 30 CS. There's 1-4. Lucian's 6-1. They scale better. Like pretty much every time their stuff is up, they either kill us or they force a flag. So yeah, I don't usually surrender as long as we have a win condition, but we really don't. Like, Kane maybe, but the problem is like, oh, she just hit that. Sivir, like, you're supposed to let him hit it. You're not supposed to dodge that one, bud. Like, the one time you're supposed to get hit, you don't get hit. You can't even, like, get it right to get hit. Who didn't surrender, man? Wait, just go next. I don't even want to... Yeah, Fizz is probably getting boosted. Now he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's got lucky. It was a low, like, it was like 12 games, and some of them were normals.
Enemy rampage.
Yeah, but with Ezreal, at least you can just, like, not die. You know, even if you miss a lot of Qs, you can still farm and just, like, not die. And eventually you'll hit some Qs late game. In theory.
I will see my home again.
if you can just not die as Ezreal, you can get zoned out and still farm with your Q from like 1,200 units away. I think Misfortune is a pretty good, like, early champ. I don't like Ashe for new people. I don't like Sivir either. I don't really like Sivir in solo queue if you're under Diamond. Like, you're really picking her for utility of her ult and her scaling on 3 crit items. Yeah, I think if someone's like, hey, I got auto-filled ADC, what should I play? I'd probably say Misfortune.
Sure as the tides.
Or like Jinx. Jinx at least has decent range, and like near the end of the game, even if you're really far behind, if you just get a couple of items, you can just right click and blow some people up. Darius lost hard versus Anasis. He was like 1-5 or something, or 1-4 in the early laning phase. Like,
Feet are strange.
Rengar wasn't even up there. That Nasus literally 2v1 them one time. Like, they traded a kill on him, but like Kayn and Darius were both up there at level 5. And Nasus managed to trade a kill. They killed him, but he killed Darius. It's like, how on earth does that happen? Darius is like, I didn't know I was 6. How am I supposed to see that big number on my profile? How am I supposed to hear that noise? It goes, you know, the ding noise or whatever whenever somebody hits 6. How am I supposed to know I'm not 6 when I can't level up my ultimate? I mean, these are the great mysteries of the universe. I mean, it's fine. It's just a couple of bad games. I meant to dodge the last one. This one, I don't know. Like, I didn't notice this dude is 11% on Darius. But, I mean, we had a 60% win rate Kayn. That's a Rengar stomper. At 125 games at 60% is pretty legit. I knew Sivir's going to be trash, but the ADC is almost always trash. I don't know. There are, like, ADC is a strong role right now. I'm just remembering the bad players more. And then the Fizz, I don't know, 92%, but some of that was off of solo queue. I mean, that Leona's 44%. I don't know, they just had good matchups everywhere. I thought that the Fizz into Anivia was pretty good for Fizz. I thought that the Darius into Nasus was pretty good for Nasus. I knew this was going to be a rough lane bot lane, but I figured maybe we could win around the other lanes. I mean, they're just better than us. I can't dodge every time I have a Sivir, though, Jolty. Sometimes you just got to get carried. Ezreal is very good if you're good on Ezreal, but Ezreal can also be really bad. Like, he's like the second or third lowest win rate, 80 carry. Not that stats are everything, but there's something. Trust me, we've seen a lot of bad Ezreals on my team. Because it's like, on paper, yeah, he's great. You know, you can farm easily, you scale really hard, you get extra gold if you fall behind. But thing is, people get hit by skill shots. You know, they still die as Ezreal all the time. They try to E forward, or they just miss everything, or they just don't position correctly. Yeah, he's down there. I mean, it's not like he's insanely hard to win with, but logistically, there's a lot of bad Ezreals out there. Yeah, he's really good too. He's one of the most frustrating AD carries because sometimes he's really good and then sometimes he's really bad. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not a team fight meta in solo queue right now. If you're still talking about Civ or Romeo. Like in pro play, games, at least in the current meta, are almost always decided by team fights. But in solo queue, split pick is the best right now, at least at Platinum and lower. So you want a really good top laner that can 1v1. You want an assassin middle. You want some kind of roamer in the jungle. And then you want an ADC who can skirmish. So, like, you never, like, get a clean 5v5 team fight. And that's why champions like Sivir just aren't really that great right now. Because she really, like, is terrible in duels. Like, Kha'Zix jumps out of you at the jungle, or, you know, Xin Zhao comes running at you, or whatever. It's, like, I don't know. You can run away, maybe, but you're not going to fight him, that's for sure. Versus something like Vayne or Lucian, like, you can... You know, 1v1 a lot of champions. You have a lot of outplay potential. And you're good in, like, 2v2 and 3v3. I think she's too team reliant for an AD carry right now. I mean, Jinx is kind of the same way, but I'd rather have Jinx because, you know, Jinx can at least push, and she scales harder. And she's got, like, CC. Like, she can, you know, drop her chompers if your support CCs. And I just think Jinx has a better kit. If you want kind of the AFK push, like team fighter. And the stats reflect that. But once again, not all about stats, but, you know, Jinx does have like a 6 or 7% higher win rate. Lulu top. Oh, is this a booster thing? With Master Yi? It better be a boost. Oh, he wants Vlad. Let's just get rid of Lucian then.
You don't have the heart for this.
Oh, Ashe is a little bit better than Sivir. I think Ashe is a little bit better than Sivir. Because Ashe does have poke, she has a little bit more range, and she can start fights, which can be pretty good in the skirmish and pick comp stuff. So, I think Ashe is a little underrated. She's still not, like, my absolute favorite, but... Oh, these guys aren't on voice comms? Or are they trolling? You rooting around in there? Are you rooting?
I knew you would do that.
Alright, we'll get it on one of these, we'll get one of these Zillion games in here. Zillion is pretty good with Vlad. Like, Vlad really likes that speed. I mean, Master Yi does too, but... What is that? Oh, it's Braum bot. No, I need to have Ares so we can use Ardent Sensor. I was halfway tempted to think like something like Klepto, but... we'll keep Ignite. Well, I'm doing this specifically because Jolty donated yesterday $100 for 5 zillion games. We played one yesterday. He said we could spread them out, so this one looked like a decent spot to try to sneak that in. So, well, we have to play the comp. I mean, their team is not. Their team's not that great. I would have much rather had the Vlad, though. I mean, LeBlanc is very good. I know I was complaining about LeBlanc being OP a few games ago, but Vlad's very OP, too. I think Vlad's more consistent. Like, LeBlanc is very strong if she gets going, for sure. But I think Vlad's better than LeBlanc overall right now. But LeBlanc is strong. It's just... LeBlanc is just frustrating to play against. Like, there are other champions that, you know, obviously can blow you up. But... yeah, Zillion Hecarim's good. I mean, Zillion, anyone that wants a lot of speed. So, like, Vlad is someone who wants a lot of speed, so he can get to that back line and one-shot people. Oh, yeah, are they duo boosting? I didn't look. That's like a classic. Master Yi plus either Lulu or Tarek. Yeah. I mean, that's not like an insane win rate, but that's pretty dang good. Yeah, so if y'all haven't seen this before, I could go ahead and VOD this game. I need to release, like, more individual VODs. But yeah, basically what's probably going to happen... well, I'll just explain it in the video. Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Stretch Professor. It's patch 9.4, early March. Doing some Zillion action here. Shout out to Jolty for the generous donation. If you'd like to donate for a champion of your choice, I'll play it in ranked. Email me or ask me on stream first what it is. If it's something that I'd feel comfortable, you know, playing in ranked on support, you know, I can do that for 20 bucks. I can do almost anything off ranked in support, or off my main role, rather in ranked for 20 bucks. Then if it's a normal game, I can do it for 10. So Jolty donated 100 for 5 zillion games. This is one of those zillion games. Zillion in general, he's like kind of always in a weird place in the meta because there are other champions that kind of compete for what he's doing, most notably Lulu, who we also have on our team. So he adds a lot of speed ups. So that's kind of his thing. Need for speed, low cooldown, so he can help chase people across the map. He has pretty good all-in. If you land that double bomb in the laning phase, you can do quite a bit of damage, so that's another aspect of his kit. He's got all-in early if you hit the double bomb. Like, the slow is pretty good. Like, people aren't going to be getting away from that. So you can speed up, you can slow down, you can double bomb. He just doesn't have a proper heal that's spammable. And his CC is very conditional. You have to hit the double bomb. But, you know, he can work in a lot of comps. He does have the protection with his ult. He does get some extra experience. So, just always in an odd spot where it's like, yeah, he could be really good, but there's just like kind of some consistency stuff going on with him. But he's always like on the cusp of being like, you know, viable. And if you get really good, if you land a lot of those double bombs, which I do not play Zillion a lot, so, you know, don't expect me to hit all of them, I hope. But if you do, you'll probably be disappointed. But hopefully we'll hit a couple of good ones here. It is very good if you have a hyper carry like Yi on your team, as most enchanters are, but like getting a lot of value out of that resurrection is important. Oops. But you can have a hard time against like a Nami or a Sona. They have a Braum though, so that's alright. Now, if you take Airy on Zillion, which I do have, you can trigger Ardent Sensor. When you put the speed up on somebody with your E, it does shield them with Airy, and that does give them the Airy boost. So you can still get Ardent Censer with him. So usually like Ardent Redemption is what I'd go. Athene's is not amazing on him just because the Athene's healing can only match how much the shield is. So it can only match the airy shield, and you can only put that airy shield on every now and then, so... I don't think you need to go tier on him anymore. Old school people used to go tier on him. But I think because you can go Redemption. Redemption's a pretty good combo with his ult too, because if you ult somebody, you can drop a Redemption on him right when they're going to heal. What is going on up there? You can drop a Redemption on him right when they're going to heal. Or right when they're going to revive and get a huge heal.
An ally has been slain.
Our duo's arguing top lane. That's not good. Guys using this duo boost strat, the Lulu Yi strat. We'll see. I mean, they got to consistently shut it down. Basically, Yi takes all the farm top lane. Y'all haven't seen this before. Now, I assume Lulu is going to get Ardent Censer early for that E. So we'll keep an eye on her and see what she's buying. We almost had a Vlad middle. I really would have preferred to have the Vlad in this comp because we need, like, if you have 2 supports, you really need 3, like, super hyper carry champs to make up for that lack of damage. But LeBlanc can win. We just had an Orianna a couple games ago that got trashed by LeBlanc, and I was talking about how Orianna is just really not that viable in solo queue right now. That's going to take that cannon, maybe. Ugh. Yeah, he's not going to like that. I missed on those bombs. I'm not going to be able to get there in time.
An ally has been slain.
Okay, there we go. Nice. So, yeah, we just want to keep farming, try to... Lu's actually not down that much CS top lane, but... I mean, Yi's just a time bomb with this comp. Like, if they don't win early, then... I should have maybe slowed him down and went for the double bomb on him. Yeah, no, Sona's great right now. I think Sona, you know, she's either the #1 or #2 support for most people. Easy's kind of keeping up in farm. I did take like 6 of his farm on accident, trying to double bomb Kaisa. We're pretty much going to lose like all the dragons. Can't do anything about it. Okay, they're not doing it though. I don't think. No. Unless Kane's soloing, which is possible. But, like, everyone knows Yi's going to be top to catch most of that farm. And he's got to be careful that he farms enough of his jungle, too. So I think you have to have, like, twice as much jungle farm as you have lane farm or something like that. Okay, but once you complete that, I think once you complete your total jungle item, then that falls off, I believe. I'm not sure how the new, like, anti-whatever rules work. I need to stay for this experience, I think. Don't need to get killed by a W, but... Because there was a rule, like, they tried to stop the funnel comp, but they recently loosened up on those rules a little bit. I can't remember. They've changed it like 3 or 4 times. Okay, yeah, there's the dragon. Like, everybody knows that's free dragon versus that type of comp with E. Oh my god. Dude, please just let me back, man. Okay, I don't know what I'm just gonna get redemption first.
Make haste.
That's a bad buy. Let's go that way.
Already there.
There's something with jungle, like the jungle items where... Yeah, she's rushing Ardent first, so that's why I'm going Redemption. Where, like, if you take so much lane gold without having much jungle gold, then you get a huge penalty on the gold. But I think once you complete the jungle item, then that doesn't apply anymore. I think. They've changed the rules so much, I'm not 100%. I think they're going to double kill him.
Shut down.
So, okay, there we go. Now we're rolling. So I think, and it gets really convoluted and weird. I think it's like, it's something like if your lane minions are over half of what your jungle minions are, then you lose like 10 gold per minion. So instead of getting 14 for range, you'd only get 4. I think that's what it is now, but I'd have to look. I'm not 100% about it. I'm not gonna get baited into that though. We don't. Kane could be around here. I just kind of panicked when she did that. I just pressed all the buttons. I didn't think she was gonna do it. Should have been ready for it. That's a pretty good ward there. Oh, she's going Blather and King first. That's such a bad build most of the time. I mean, I guess she feels like she can scale up or something, but... Like, you basically have to go Blade in order to get your Q evolve. You basically have to go Blade and a double pickaxe, and then go Gensu's after that, which slows down your second item tremendously. I still think the Infinity Edge... Infinity Edge Gensu's is what a lot of people are doing. don't think we can give him multiple Infernals, so I hope Yi shows up for this.
Turret plating will fall soon.
All in good time.
Zillion's kind of a support. I mean, like, yeah, he can get AP, but like getting AP as a support's a bad idea. I really, in solo queue, I don't like him in mid lane. I'd rather have him as support than a mid laner. I mean, I know they're like C9's famous for using it, but that's because they had a hyper carry jungler. It was like Kindred plus Zillion in a lot of instances. They're gonna know they just get free Drakes. It's really unfortunate that like it's been a double Infernal spawn with this strategy they're doing, because really he has to play to the top side of the map to get all that farm from top. So, I mean, we just have to give it up.
Make haste.
Like, that would work a lot better if it was, you know, a Mountain Drake or something. Because that's not going to matter till really late in the game, usually. And they're just going to, like, 3-man bot, take it down. Yeah, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job of countering what they're doing topside. Gotten 2 Infernals, they're pressuring bot really hard. I don't know about that, bro.
Yes.
Killing spree.
Okay.
Double kill.
Yeah, maybe it won't matter, though. I mean, the thing is that Master Yi is so strong with this kind of, like, protect the Yi strategy, though. In solo queue, because people just don't. Like, they don't have enough CC for it, I don't think. Like, Poppy's just worthless. Orianna is probably not going to have enough juice. So we're probably still in an okay spot. It's just giving up double Infernal sucks. They did trade the tower on top side, so that's not that big of a deal. I didn't mean to take all that, but that's what happened. I think he's just going to kill them all.
Unstoppable.
All right, let's just get mobility boots,
Double
just
kill.
so we can rotate around and maybe help Yi out. Not that he really needs our help. What a joke, to be honest. Yeah. It really is, like, under Diamond, even in low Diamond, like, that kind of comp with the Master Yi is... Master Yi is just such a toxic champion in solo queue in general. He's so difficult to balance around if you don't, like, use a very deliberate strategy against him. I mean, even Faker, like, in the heyday of the Master Yi stuff. Oops.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down.
All in good time.
Whoa, oh, Poppy TP'd. I was like, how the hell did she get down there? She's going for Zeke's Convergence. I actually do like that build, the Lulu Ardent Zeke. Sometimes I get that when I'm support Lulu, but on Yi, that's hilarious. Wonder if she's gonna get like Knight's Vow after that.
An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
The way is always the same.
Yeah, they're not doing it. I guess I can I just get this for even more speed. I'm just trying to think of something that can complement the Yi. She's already got the Ardent Sensor covered. Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like I wasted my ult, but he dropped below 10% health. I mean, I'd rather use it. It's not a long cooldown.
An ally has been slain.
He's like, I don't care. What are you gonna do, Oriana? Nah, I'm not gonna get Twin Shadows. I think Twin Shadows is pretty overrated a lot of time. I think speeding up is, like, speeding up your whole team is better than slowing down. I mean, it depends on the situation, but... With the Yi, I feel like speeding up is going to be stronger. It's on a shorter cooldown, too. It also gives, like, some mana regen and health. Support's helping supports, baby. Let's get that experience going. What a joke. Double. Enemy team's probably just like freaking, I don't even know, just throwing the keyboard through the window. It's just so. How do you kill him? I don't want to get Poppy pinned. They're just all chasing the Yi out there. We're just like, alright, we're just gonna win the game. Alright, well. Awkward. Yeah, that was a little weird. I thought we were gonna get the Nexus there, but whatever. Yes, Oriana gets a big shutdown. We could actually go like lock it or something. Do they have any CC? Not really. Let's go Knight's Vow if Lulu's not gonna get it. And after that we can get like a Mikhail's or something.
Inevitably.
This is just so dumb. He needs a GA to complete the trollery. Oh, we touched the fountain. Oh my god. I can't heal him in the fountain, man. I mean, I guess I could, but... Alright, well, that's it. So we had some interesting plays in there, Zillion. Obviously, it was the Master Yi show, but I'm trying to give some Zillion examples on the channel. Yeah, I mean, that was just about as, like, troll as you can get. Like, Zillion ult plus 2 redemptions. I got Knight's Vow. Lulu had Zeke's plus Ardent Sensor. I don't even know what she got as her third item. It's like super toxic solo queue action. Yeah, LB was AFK for a little bit. It's got the lifesteal items. About to permaban Yi. Anyways, that's it for the Zillion game. If you want to see more content, just check out the channel. I have a lot of playlists for different champions. Come check out the stream sometime. Starts around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Between 9:30 and 10. I try to start on the 9:30 side. Sometimes it's closer to 10:30. And then we go till about 2:30 or 3 a.m. most nights. So come by, check it out. It's a lot of fun. I do tier lists for every patch as well for support and AD carry and jungle. I have playlists, topical guides, such as like how to one trick, like which champions you should think about one trick. Does luck exist in League of Legends? What is a meta slave? Should you be a meta slave? Macro video, micro video, laning videos, top 5 tips to get out of your current ELO videos. We've got it all. So come by, check it out. It's a good time. If you would like for me to play a champion of your choice, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind, or stop by the stream and just let me know what you think. It's $20 to play a ranked champion, $10 for unranked, and I'm happy to play a game for you and give you the best commentary that I can. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. The stream's going to continue, but that's it for this individual VOD. So thanks. Have a good day. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you next time. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad we were able to get a win in there. Zillion feels good in that comp when you've got the hyper carry. Tyler 1 style. How does Yi not have a 90% win rate? Well, the supports actually matter a lot to help him. He can get CC'd and killed in particular, and in general, Master Yi players take a whole lot of risks. Like, they try to go for the Penta, so they end up throwing a lot of games because of that. But yeah, I mean, if you put him with something like Lulu or Taric or Zillion or 2 of those, it was also because they sped up his build a lot by giving him all of the lane farm. Like, typically it takes Yi, like, 20, 25 minutes to come online with just, like, maybe 1 or 2 kills and just farming in the jungle. Now, he was online in, like, 12 minutes because he was getting all of the top lane farm, and they got a ton of kills. Yo, what's up, Sean? Well, it's not that he's too safe. It's that he does everything. This is why Yi is, like, always on my one-trick videos. Yes, you can stop him if the enemy team has a lot of CC and, like, some tanks in the early to mid-game. You can shut him down and just end the game before he gets his items. You can go in. You can invade him with things like Kha'Zix, Xin Zhao, Master Yi. A lot of these early-game punishment junglers, you can invade him, beat him up, take all of his camps, and he can't fight you back. Rek'Sai, that's why you don't see him in, like, Challenger or Pro plays, because he can get dumpstered in the early game, like, hard. But if it's solo queue and you just AFK farm in your jungle, you don't interact with him at all, particularly if he's getting gifted, all of the CS in the top lane. That's a real problem. So it's like, I don't know. I think they need to take the true damage off of him, honestly, would be a huge start so that tanks were more effective against him. But once he gets going, all he needs is like 2 items. He gets that the attack speed item, and then usually he gets Blade of the Ruined King after that. This guy got Mercurial instead, but basically the on-hit item with Blade of the Ruined King and Gensu's. I guess Gensu's is, so you need 3 items. But he just gets, like, his double strike interacting with the Gensus. It's just like he's just constantly getting multiple hits, triggering Blather and King, getting a ton of healing. He just carves through everything. So he can take Baron by himself. I think he can do Baron on 2 items by himself really easily. He team fights really well. He can split push. He can 1v1, 2v2, anything you name it. If you don't CC and kill him, like, immediately later on in the game, if you give him farm, then he's going to win. And it's hard to CC and kill him when you've got a Lulu, you know, with her ultimate protecting him and a Zillion protecting him. And then I gave him Knight's Vow. I had Redemption. Lulu had Redemption. And he was getting buffed by Ardent Censer and Zeke's. So, anyways, I'll be back in 1 second. Let me give the cat some food. I'll go ahead and start this up. We might miss the queue, but we'll see. 1 second. So yeah, he's just like one of those champs. He's just like an extreme champion. Either he's totally worthless or he's just like too good. Nah, I think he's alpha. It's kind of like who he is. That's one of the few skill expression things in his kit is he can dodge spells with it. I think really, like, if they just knocked out the true damage on his kit and tanks were more effective against him for longer in the game, then I think that would probably be enough. I mean, he would still have scaling, you know, he could still get some other stuff, but... I think there's a patch this coming week, right? 9.5? Yeah. 9.4 was... Yeah, okay, yeah, so it should be this week's 9.5. Kale. We'll have to keep an eye on Kale. Sweet Raven. Down. Ban Lucian or Vayne? I guess I'll just ban Lucian. I don't know. Vayne is so annoying to deal with, but...
You don't have the heart for this.
Okay, good. So they basically are probably going to pick Ezreal. Blind pick. I guess let's do Nami.
I decide what the tide will bring.
They could remove his Q reset. That might be a start. Yi is kind of a different beast than Kale. I mean, Kale can be pretty good, but she doesn't have like the untargetability, the resets. Like it makes it hard to CC him when he's getting the resets with the alphas. Okay, this guy's actually pretty good on Nidalee. They were pretty nasty early game comp here. Are there obvious choices when banning champion? I mean, a lot of it kind of depends, but there are definitely some champs that probably should be banned most of the time. I think that, like, Lucian or Vayne, Vlad, those are what I usually ban right now. There's probably about, like, maybe 10 or 15 champs you can make an argument for, depending on your team comp and just kind of champions you like to play. Yeah, Xerath is open to ganks. He doesn't have a lot of escapes. So if you just get to AFK push into the tower and just poke him, yeah, he's great. But if you get ganked, you're pretty much dead. His base damage is not as high, particularly for all-ins early, and he does require a mana item. I think that most champs that require mana items are problematic right now. Wait, who's the Kennen? Mace Dindu. Okay, he's alright on Kennen. Top. Irelia middle. Was Silas banned? Yeah, Silas was banned. I guess. I could have maybe gotten away with Klepto Nami here, but... I don't know. It's hard to get autos against Ezreal. I guess it's a Kali versus Irelia, so like battle of the nerfed. But yeah, I mean, so Xerath can be good. I've been beaten by Xerath several times in the bot lane. It's just like, he's kind of like Leona-esque. It as weird as that sounds, in that like if he gets left alone in a 2v2, is very good. But you know, if the jungler comes down, it could be a rough. But yeah, usually champions that need a mana item, I don't like them in the bot lane that much. They just take too long, like you said, too much gold to come online. Like, he needs a Ludens. But yeah, I mean, if you're hitting everything, the thing with Xerath is like, you know, he's balanced around you missing stuff. So if you hit everything, then yeah, he's OP.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
That's why he's a really popular booster champ, and not like super popular, but he is definitely a champ that can be a booster. And he was a, you know, the prime candidate back in the day when there were the aim bots or whatever they were called. He can be safer than Zyra, but he takes a lot longer to come online, I think. Sort of. The thing is, like, Zyra's more consistent. Like, Zyra's plants are gonna hit you. You know, even if she misses her Q, if she's zoning you out with those plants. I mean, you know this. You main Zyra. Like, they're gonna hit you. Like, that's the thing. With Xerath, like, there's no guarantee you're actually gonna hit anybody. So Zyra has, like, much more guaranteed damage. She can scout better with her plants and bushes. So I think that inherently makes her safer when she's trying to ward. The CC is about the same. Xerath CC is probably easier to hit, but it's single target. And, like, Xerath can't actively use his ult in combat, which is a huge deal, whereas Zyra can, you know, and it's a very good ult for team fights. So, I've seen very good Xeraths, but I still think Zyra is probably better for most people. Okay, let me VOD this. Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing another Nami video, patch 9.4. Nami's still, I think, the best overall support. If she's not the best, she's certainly up there with Sona. At Platinum and lower. Why is Xerath not, Draven not, like, using actions? I don't know, maybe he was talking to somebody or something. Wake up, boy. Oof, okay. Eating forward. Wow. If Nami came down here off of that, we would have.
Ally has been slain.
Would have been great. This guy's like 64% Draven. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's high or what right now, but something's not making sense. God. Okay, nice. There we go. That's making sense. That's what I'm talking about. This Nidalee, like, is a one-trick Nidalee. Plays her a lot. Nidalee can be a very good one-trick candidate. Usually she's bad, but she's just a tempo champ. You know, you gotta get ahead. You can't just farm with Nidalee. You gotta constantly gank and power up. She really does not have a lot of utility late game. But if you can do that, she's great. Yeah, I agree, Erickson. The plant vision is with Zyra support is definitely something that's easy to forget. Fighting Nico asks, who are the top 5 mid lane champs right now? Probably, I mean, I would say for like platinum and lower people, Malzahar, Ahri. It just depends. Like mid's actually pretty wide open. If you're really good or if you're a one trick, you know, things like LeBlanc, it's really far up the list. Zoe, Xerath, we were just talking about. These guys, I'm tired of hearing whatever they're talking about. I gave him the E to help him last hit back, so it looked like he was going to miss it. But I just think Malzahar and Ahri are really consistent for a lot of people. Yasuo is probably in there, top 5. Just because the like the good case scenario with Yasuo is so good. Oh, she missed. I need to get some control words so we can punish this, punish her a little more. I was looking at River. I could have E'd the Draven. Whoa, what? Hang on. 2v1?
Why, thank you.
Full health? Now she's gonna die too and get super tilted off this Lee. Akali doesn't even have CC. Like, how does that even happen? She can't. It's not like Nidalee can get CC'd under tower. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. then ulted it to, like, when he was already dead. Nidaleigh's probably dead too. If they kill Nidalee, we've lost all of our tempo. Yep. Okay, well, we did get a shutdown. Alright. The thing is, you know, we're playing a tempo champ, so if we lose tempo, it's a big problem. I mean, Lee is a tempo champ too, you know, he does fall behind at some point, but I think Lee even has more utility late game than Nidalee does. At least he can start fights. Nidalee's like pure skirmisher.
Why, thank you.
Ezreal got a cold too. Draven's just like not playing aggressive enough. He needs to be up there like auto attacking this Ezreal like every chance he gets, try to all in this guy. Especially when we know Lee is dead.
Too easy.
What the hell's wrong with that champion? Like, okay, well, now I see what was going on middle.
There's always another wave.
I mean, she is up a lot of CS on the Akali. I don't know what was going on. Maybe she thought we had more mana or health, or I don't know. I was out of everything though.
Shut down.
Please kill her.
I was
An ally has been slain.
We're just farming off with this Ezreal. Like, we should be beating him in. He's going to outscale us. He's got a freaking Cole. Just, like, spitting in Draven's face. Like, yeah, I'm going to get a Cole in laning phase versus you, bruh. Well, that Aurelia took, like, 4 tower shots. I don't know. Maybe she thought that I had more mana or something. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, this is usually what happens with Nidalee's. I mean, this guy's like a Nidalee one trick. Kind of hoping that 60% would actually be accurate. Oh my God, we're actually gonna fight him? Hold on. Hold up. I need to get out of here and get out. That's all we can get is a fairy charm right now.
Enemy shut
Okay,
down.
well. At least I really got a kill on her. She is up 30 CS, but Akali has a lot of gold.
Enemy killing spree.
I will see my home again.
An enemy has been slain.
Jesus, they're gonna get mid off of that. And we can't, like, this Irelia is she's just inconsistent. Like, she's farming really well. Draven still has Conquer, which I think is really bad on Draven right now. After the nerfs, it just takes too long to power it up. Like, Draven, the fight's over by the time you trigger it. One way or another, either you're dead or they're dead. It just feels worthless. Like, I really think that Klepto Draven is very underrated. After the nerfs to Conquer. Half the time this Draven's like not even spinning active. Well, win rates aren't always inaccurate. A lot of times they are. It's just, you know, once again, like the thing in our minds is stuff always seems disproportional to what is like actually going on in reality, because we have very limited perspective and we have very limited memory, so we only remember extreme events most of the time. Much more likely to remember extreme cases, you know, where the stats didn't add up, not the other, you know, 90% of the time where they were accurate. Damn it, I was trying to block that. But maybe he wouldn't get it. How do you mean R? Like, it's an Ezreal, dude. Like, why do people not understand, like, what Nami R actually does? You're not gonna hit an Ezreal with the R from like 1,000 units away unless the dude like has a stroke on his keyboard or something, you know? Like it's just not happening. We're getting beaten in like every lane.
An ally has been slain.
We still have, like what? He's still got the thing too. We're gonna take that tower. That game's over.
Your turret has been destroyed.
She just coming down here to int or what? Like,
Enemy is unstoppable.
I think that has to be an int, right? Like, she actually think that was gonna work? No, int Scion's not a thing. It never really was a thing. It was a meme. It was always bad. Because, like, yeah, you're not worth gold, but when you're dead, like, you give up so much pressure on the whole map. Like, you're a huge liability to your team, even when people would do the inting Scion thing. But no, like, Scion's worth more gold now. Like, the worst case scenario, like, I think you're worth a minimum of, like, 100 gold now. Something like that, regardless of how much you fed. Yeah, he just went second item GA to protect his bounty. I mean, the thing is, this Draven's gonna blame the Akali, or the Irelia, everybody is, but we didn't pressure this lane as hard as we should. I was trying, but Draven just, like, never steps up. Like, how many all-ins did he try in this lane? 1? Maybe 2? When he actually just ran at Ezreal and threw some axes at him? It never happened. And Akali hasn't even roamed down here that much. Lee hasn't been down here at all, hardly. They've just been camping mid and top, so we're... Like, we should be, like, crushing this matchup. We should be zoning them out of CS. We should be up 30 or 40 CS, especially since he's going so many scaling items. He's got tier plus coal, like... Yeah, we may not kill him, but you can, like, at least pressure him. Make him take some bad backs, like, I don't know. Draven's just opting into a farm off with him, and we lose that. Ezreal has multiple, like, he's got his coal, and he's got his Klepto, and he just scales better in general. What's up, Lux? So it's like, yeah, Irelia and Nidalee, I think, are the biggest sort of problems. I mean, Kennen's getting wrecked top lane too, but they're definitely going to come down here. This is the only tier 1 left. But, like, we did not play this lane very well. We should have been much more aggressive with it. Oh my god, we can't even kill him, like...
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Meanwhile, Yorick on the inhibitor. No, it's not. I don't think the inting Scion was ever actually, like, a legitimate thing. But either way, like, it's theoretical at this point. What we thought of inting Scion when it was it's not viable anymore. They changed the minimum gold bounty. I tell you, when people try to inting Scions at my game, it very rarely worked out well. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. Oh my god, what is going on? We have a lot of hard drive space free. Well, that's exactly right, Chris. But now you're looking at the exceptions, right? You're looking at, like, challenger or, like, high level players, right? Like, that's not the average. That's not normal. So yeah, I mean, there are some people who could make it work, but exactly what you said, most people died too much and did it incorrectly. So it's not good for most people. I don't use a music streaming app. I just like listen to YouTube. So yeah, I mean, could it work? Sure, it could. Could Teemo work? Sure, there's that Teemo guy in NA that's like always Masters or Challenger. But I'm just saying, like, in general. I mean, it was like literally 3 sentences. I don't think that's a novel. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like saying I saw Steph Curry like shoot some half-court shots and make them. Therefore, when I go to my rec league, you know, my church league or my, you know, junior varsity basketball game, I should shoot shots from half court, like all the time. It's like, probably not. Or maybe a better case might even be like, I saw LeBron James dunking on people, so I'm gonna go try to dunk it, and you can't dunk. So you just slam it into the rim every time. Like, that's probably closer to how it is. Wow, I saw this NBA player going up and dunking. That's what I'm going to do in my next game. And they run up and just, like, ram it, like, slam it right into the rim and just fall on their back. The ball just flies out of bounds. I got that image in my head. Hey, cool, Mutant. Hope you had a good trip. Good moving experience. You say you were moving from, like, Ohio to Texas or something? Well, I mean, that's true. It's not hard skill-wise, but you got to remember that, like, people make really bad decisions even on low skill cap champions that are strong. Or they can. I mean, like, having a more consistent lower skill cap champ can definitely work, but also, you got to remember, like, the game dynamics are different, like, in Challenger and Master level play. Like, people just may not apply enough map pressure for you to in Scion. Like, they may not have enough wave control. They may not push the lanes enough. And so, when you int in, like, no one's doing anything else on the map when they send 2 people after you. Arizona, okay. Yeah, but it requires coordination. Like, that, sort of. Like, any kind of split push, you have to, like, be able to gauge whether you have enough pressure on the map to actually make the push or not. It can also create a lot of mental problems for your team. We'll put it that way. It can tilt your team really hard, too. You know, if you're, like, 0-10 top lane, everyone starts raging at each other. You know, and, like, Silver, they don't know what's going on. They just know that Scion's, like, 0-10. You know. It just looks gimmicky, and when gimmicks look like they're failing, then people start tilting really hard. You know, if you're just playing Sona bot lane and you go, like, 0-3, people be like, okay, whatever. But if you play something like Master Yi support bottom and you die once, you're going to be getting flamed hard. So anytime people see something weird or unorthodox, if, like, they're already going to not like it and not be on board with it, but then especially if, like, the game's not going well, then they're definitely going to turn on you, and it's going to be your fault for your pick, regardless of whether or not it actually is. I mean, a lot of times it might be your fault for the pick, but even if it's not, I'm okay with that. I really don't like going against Zed. Like, the AD mid laners right now are really frustrating, particularly Zed. Because they're pretty good against enchanters, and I don't really like picking armor champs. Seems rough. Well, here's the new beginnings. You know, I traveled up to Ohio for a while. I'm a homebody, though, you know. Um, exactly. Yeah, there are some situations like that in Mutant Mills for sure. I don't know. I really like my home zone. It was cool and everything being in Ohio, and I do miss parts of it actually. You know, I was just thinking the other day, man, it's weird. Like when you think back, not many points in your life like do you get actual closure. You know, it feels like you could just walk back into whatever situation in your life, or a lot of times that's how it feels to me anyways. I'm like, oh man, I never finished that conversation with that girl in high school or whatever. Like we were having this cool conversation about a movie or whatever, and then the bell rang and we had to go to class. And then, you know, I'm just like, I could just walk right back in there today and pick up that conversation. You know, or like, hey, I never really said a proper goodbye to that like cool Indian guy in the gas station where I always went and got a Starbucks after I dropped my daughter off, you know, to daycare.
Impure.
So I don't know. It just feels weird like that, where it's like it just feels like you never get a proper like, because life just doesn't. I mean, sometimes there are very distinct chapters. Like, okay, that's over. You know, like that's not happening anymore. But then a lot of times it just feels like it just kind of like all sort of blends together. Yes, first pick of support kind of sucks, but first pick is most champs.
I decide what the tide will bring.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Sorry, Babu. No, he was. I don't remember his name. He doesn't like. We didn't share names. He was really cool. He had the red dot on his head. And sometimes his wife would be in there. Sorry, I don't know the name of those things. Like some of the specific things, but yeah, he was just really friendly. We never shared names. We'd just laugh about some random stuff. He'd ask me how the weather's doing. You know, I just pick up like some Reese's cups, just some garbage, and like a Starbucks or something. When I'd been like staying up all night. Well, closure's weird because it's all just like, I mean, everything in our life is just, all the meaning is really just a construct to an extent. It's just stuff that we find valuable or meaningful, but that maybe other people really don't, you know? And the thing is, like, life isn't based around us. It feels like it is, but we're just like one tiny, like, grain of sand in like a beach of a universe. Oh. So it feels like, you know, all this stuff is super important, but, you know, life was going on long before we were here, and it'll keep going on long after we're gone. God, this, how do we win this game? This guy's stack master, I guess. Nah, I'm not doing it. It's true. I don't know, man. I just don't think we had a win con. We had terrible matchups everywhere. I swear to God, if I'm in this game. Okay. Okay, at least we only have a 6-minute timer because we actually didn't get the dodge earlier. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, Nasus is okay, but like middle against a Xerath? Kai'Sa's pretty bad right now. Jarvan's okay. We just didn't have any power. It's like, who wins this game? I guess like Kai'Sa, if she gets really fed, could, but Alright, let's see what they're buffing here. I mean, we didn't have, like, people just aren't picking win conditions. Why is a 3-second bind still in the game? Riot, please. Get that crap out of here. Like, nobody wants that. One-year bind, yeah. Let's see. Morgana chains herself to nearby champions, dealing X number of damage and slowing them by 20%. 5, 30, 55% move speed. What? Uh, 55% move speed seems pretty nutty. I'm not sure that's always going to be relevant, but I could definitely see some cases where you're trying to flash ult and not use your Q until they're binded to make sure 100% is going to hit them. That's kind of a cool looking skin. I've got that skin too. Nice. Cat fact. What the hell? Oh, dogs versus cats event? Okay, so Akali's getting... We're just waiting on a dodge timer for people tuning in. They've got 1 minute left. This looks like buffs to me. I can't tell. The numbers are definitely higher. That's a lot of extra damage. That's 40 extra damage on her first one. And minus 10 on her second one. So she could, like, use that to poke a little bit better. Although it's a pretty long cooldown. Dropping her ultimate cooldown by 20 seconds is, like, really dangerous. A 100-second cooldown on something that's that high impact early is... That's a lot. Spike damage increased a little bit. Okay. Magic resistant per stack increased from 2% to 3%. Max stacks changed. So you can get up to 42%. Suffers magic damage or pays a health cost. His magic resist is increased by 3% for 2 seconds. Wait, does his burning W stack it then? So his burning agony stacks it? So his magic resist is increased by a certain percentage. Is that the stat MR, or is that like he actually takes less damage by magic stuff? Alright, I'll put us back in queue. Cannon barrage, damage per wave. That seems pretty significant for late game team fights. Powder keg, dealing a little bit earlier. Okay, if you're really good early with it. Mid game maybe. Seems alright. It's the same damage late game though. That'll help out as mid game. So both of these should help out as mid game a little bit. I don't think GP's like that bad right now, sort of. Like, it's his early mana cost, really, that's, like, the big issue. His late game is still, like, pretty solid. I mean, let me see. Maybe I'm wrong about that. GP's never gonna, or he's very rarely over 50% anyways. 48, okay, maybe he's got some problems. I don't know. GP's a cool champ. I like seeing him in pro also. But Dancing Grenade gets extra AD ratio, okay. Nico probably doesn't matter. Nunu, base health lower, and his healing is lowered. Okay, so the healing, so the damage changes against monsters, but the healing is the same whether it's a champion or a monster. Okay, so the healing is going down by 40 late game. That's significant. Early game, 20. That's probably fair. Nunu's a little over the top, a little strong, a little on the strong side. Okay, so you're getting like 100 extra speed. You're getting a little more damage on it. Feels bad. How about the speed levels up with the W or something? I think they should give Janna her old shield back. I think they should take the AD off of the shield so it doesn't scale as well, and then reduce it back down to a 10-second cooldown and have it not fade.
Impure fools.
Sure, I'll first pick it. Freaking Sivir again. Does this guy like...
I decide what the tide will bring.
No, you can't. You got to give something. She can't go back to her old state. She was too strong, but I think the way they nerfed her was incorrect. She doesn't need the AD. Like, she's a peeler. She shouldn't be giving out big stats like that. I'd get rid of the AD if that meant that she got the full 10 seconds back early on her shield, and they took away the decay. And particularly if they made it back to 240. I think she should have one of the best shields in the game. Like, and right now it's not. It's one of the worst. They should take it back to 240, max rank on the shield, 10 seconds, no decay, and then take off the AD. Okay, so that guy's good on Aatrox. This dude's auto-filled. This guy's 64% on Ori against a freaking Vlad, though. This guy's played Sivir. Do we have a teamfight comp? Let's see. I mean, we do outscale the Lee. I guess. I'm not super thrilled about this, but... I don't know why people can't just play, like, Lucian, Vayne, or Ezreal every game. If they're good at Ezreal. If they didn't lock in Vlad, I would have felt a lot more comfortable with this, but... Wait, is Comet what you get on Aatrox? I thought we were supposed to get Conqueror. He stacks new Conqueror pretty quickly, right? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. They're pretty low percentages on their champs. I mean, this dude plays a lot of Aatrox. He's on a cold streak, though, and he's bad versus Gangplank. Yeah, why are there gold ones? Okay, it's duo, that's why. It's like, why is a gold one matched with a diamond 4? Because the gold one probably has platinum 2 MMR or something. Okay, and Sivir's duoed with our jungler. So maybe he'll actually come down and gank. I mean, maybe that's what people are supposed to do now on Aatrox. I don't know. It seems... I mean, it seems bad to me, but what do I know? Unless he just, like, accidentally took the wrong runes. It looks like he plays Aatrox every game, though. I mean, what would he get? He doesn't have Raven... He doesn't have Ravenous Hunter? Isn't that a huge deal?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, that's pretty troll, Sean. I like how they changed it. Yeah, Gragas is very good against Lee. Like, his body slam. His body slam stops, you know, Lee's, all of Lee's stuff, basically. So does his ult. So, yeah, Gragas, that should be a good matchup, in theory, but the guy doesn't play Gragas that much. The other dude doesn't play Lee that much.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, I agree with what Chris just said, Chris Leong, is that it just doesn't fit the theme of Janna. It's like, Season 1, they just threw random stats on champions. I mean, who knew this game was going to be, like, as big as it is when it first came out, right? So, she's a Season 1 champ, and they're just like, hey, let's throw some AD on her shield. Fun fact, Janna is the most nerfed champion of all time, though. If you look at her, how often she's been nerfed, she has had the most nerfs of all time. But yeah, it just doesn't fit her theme. Like, she's supposed to be a healer. I mean, the scaling is nice on her ult. I think they should lower the cooldown on her ult to at least 130 also. Like, why 150? Like, yes, it is a good ult, but, like, when you've got a Kali with a 100-second ult, like, you can't even use her ult proactively. And it can be screwed up, you know? Like, you can mess up that ult. You can blow people away, like, I don't know. People can run out of it, too, like... It's not like a hyper-consistent ult, you know? It's like a Bard ult. To an extent. Like, there's more consistency to it than Bard ult because it does heal for a lot, you know? But it should be somewhere in the neighborhood of Bard ult timing. And I think Bard ult is like 130 seconds. Might even be lower than that. I think Bard's ult should be lowered too because it's inconsistent. Or maybe there should be something like the ult gets lowered by the number of meats you have or something like that. But anyways, what I would do with Janna, I would give her the full tornado speed back because that's one of the few skills in her kit that gives like skill expression. So speed it up again. That was one of the undercover nerfs that was actually really huge. Is they slowed down her tornado. For those of you that don't know, Janna was my most played champion for like 3 or 4 seasons. Maybe not like literally the most played every season, but she was always a top 3. Pretty much since season 5. Okay, Lee's top, so we can pressure. But yeah, they should give her full tornado speed. And then the 240 shield back, 10-second cooldown, no decay, take off the AD, lower the cooldown on her ult to 130. If she's too strong at that point, you know, take away some of her, like, the free stuff that she gets off her move speed off her passive, which is goofy. I really like the passive, too, where, and I thought it made sense thematically, when people move towards you, they get, like, movement speed. I think they still get that, but it scales off of her movement speed or something. It's just a really weird mechanic. Just really make her, like, she should be the supreme peeler. And protect her with very limited offensive capabilities. So she should get outscaled by Sona. She should get outscaled by Soraka. But she would pay for that by being very safe herself and being, like, a very good peeler. Like, I think that should be the trade-off. I think that should be her identity. Taking away that AD is a really big deal if they took that away. So I think that would give her a lot more budget to bring back some of her shielding and her peeling at the price of that AD. So I think that just clarifies her, like, purpose, why you would pick her more. What's up, Lux? Huh. Well, the season when I went to, in Season 6, it was Janna. It was a lot of Tom Kench, though, too. I played a lot of tanks that season. Janna was the only, like, non-tank. Okay. What? Now, this is how you pressure an Ezreal lane. Unlike that Draven, where we just let Ezreal free farm. Get one more plate. This might be greedy, but they don't push that fast. Well, Lee Sin is off-rolled, and it said he was bad with Lee Sin, so... Yeah, that was... that was interesting. Okay. No, Sona's already strong. Sona's arguably too strong at a lot of elos. She's got like 54, 55%. And is very, very consistent. Like, it's really hard to screw up. Really hard to screw up Sona. I find ways to do it on stream. I miss like every ult, but in theory, like, it's really hard to mess her up. I think Sona's already like has her identity as the super hardcore scaling, like hyper consistent enchanter that's vulnerable with very limited peel. I kind of hope she does go Essence Reaver. I don't know. Infinity Edge is a lot more power early, but the extra 580 does matter on Essence Reaver, and she can leverage that mana so well just to, like, keep pushing into tower. Feels like it'd be pretty strong for laning phase. I would like to see her go Essence Reaver into Infinity Edge, into Phantom Dancer is what I'd like to see. I think not enough people do the big ticket, the AD crit items, like the Infinity Edge plus Essence Reaver. I think that can be very good on champions that have like really strong abilities and AD scaling, and not just autos. Because the attack speed doesn't really matter that much on, definitely doesn't matter on her Q, and it doesn't matter that much on her bounces. Because she gets, I think she gets extra attack speed anyways when she activates W. Just having more raw AD is probably good. Ori didn't even have to ult to dodge that Lee Sin. That Lee Sin's probably tilting his team so hard right now. Poor Lee. I feel you, buddy. When I get off-rolled sometimes, it doesn't look good. Oh, I was hoping I'd get a bounce onto Ezreal there. Yeah, we're not really respecting this Lee at all. I still have wave. Ooh. I should have W'd, gotten a W bounce there. I think she backed, but I don't think she's going to roam middle. She's kind of low. We'll see. Do you buy new champs as soon as they come out? Yeah, of course. I have like 200,000 blue essence. I play League for like 4 or 5 hours a day. Yeah. Back in the day, I didn't, when I was more cost conscious. When I didn't have like infinite blue essence. And I was still didn't own all the champs. Didn't have all the runes back when you had to buy runes. I'd wait for a week for it to go down, but yeah, now I do because there's nothing else for me to spend it on except for random like events. Okay. Yeah. Alright, sure. Whatever. Whatever. I mean, Arcane Comet, I suppose, does offer more poke in lane.
There's always another wave.
I love this item too much. It's so good. Athene's. Like, Arden's very good too, but just the 100% mana regen and just the huge heals are just so clutch. And it just scales so well with your future items when you get it. Like, every Fairy Charm giving you an extra 5 HP. Just basically get double value out of your items. Sivir's just a much better, like, sieger, I think. Like, if you just want to push and pressure towers, I think Sivir just does it way better than Kate. She scales way better than Kate. Even though I know Jolty hates Sivir, and Sivir, like, you know, has problems, too. I just think she does Kate better than Kate does, most of the time. Like, unless you're really pressuring champions very hard, as Kate, but if you're just pushing a lane, I feel like Sivir's better at that. I'll stay mid with Sivir and just keep pressing this lane. Is she gonna? She's gonna go bottom. Okay. He did get the kick on me there. That was awkward. I think Sivir should have either gone there or... Pushing bottom's fine. I just think that we were trying to do too much. We're not that far ahead. Like, we're ahead, but we're not like, you know, do whatever you want ahead. So I think either play was fine, pushing out bottom or going for Rift, but I think you had to pick one.
An enemy has been slain.
Does Janna's shield give ADs to tower? I think so. I'm not sure. I'd have to read that. I know she can shield towers, but I don't know if it gives an AD or not. I think it does. About 90% sure it does, but I don't know for certain.
Sure as the tides.
Hey, what's up, Marcelo? We have a lot of vision out there right now. 80 carry even bought a control ward. Holy crap. We have 3 control wards in this area. What is going on? Dang, he's moving quick. Oh, he got mobility boots. All right. That dude's ready for some ganks. Opinion going on in Venezuela. Honestly, don't know enough. I mean, it's hard to tell because there's a lot of American propaganda about stuff. I mean, Americans are right about a lot of things, but like sometimes it's hard to tell with the news stations unless you read from like multiple perspectives. So I don't know enough. I mean, it sounds really bad, but I mean, you know, my instinctual answer is, you know, Maduro is causing a hell of a lot of problems, but I don't know like what the other alternative is, you know. It's a lot of times those situations are really complicated. Like in Syria, for example, you know, Bashar, bad, but was he better than ISIS? You know, sometimes it's not as easy as, well, just put in like someone who's really benevolent and great, you know. It's like sometimes that's not an option in some places, in certain political environments. So, I don't know. It's tough for me to say. Like, you know, it's easy to go and say, oh, you know, U.S. should intervene and go knock him out and put someone who's good in there. But, like, U.S. Puppet statecraft has backfired a lot in different places around the world. So I don't know. You know. Sometimes one of the smartest things you can say is, I don't know. I'd have to study it more from different perspectives. So like I said, it seems bad, but I'm not sure, like, what the true cause is or, like, what the right solution would
An enemy has been slain. Unstoppable.
I mean, democracy is great, like, in the right circumstances, potentially, but there's a lot of problems, so you have to have a lot of prerequisites before democracy can really work. I mean, poverty is a major concern. Like, you have to have a fairly, like, affluent country and with a really, like, a pretty high education level. Because democracy can be very dangerous as well, because people can be manipulated. If you don't have a lot of education, you can be manipulated, especially if you're really poor and desperate, and other people, you know, will just say whatever you want to hear. We're inting now. It's part of the reason why Socrates really hated democracy. Like, the main draw of democracy is you can potentially keep people from grabbing their pitchforks and, like, rioting in the street. Like, it's a stabilizing force, even if there's not really an actual, like, if there is a lot of, like, political corruption and a lot of stuff going on. The big thing in democracy is people feel like they have control. So it can help prevent civil wars and things like that. Like, that's the real thing about democracy. It's not that it's the actual, like, on paper, the best system. The best system is like an aristocracy based on people who are experts in their field and are benevolent, sort of what Plato wanted. The problem is that never actually happens in most circumstances. Corruption is just going to be a part of any large society, and so democracy tries to check corruption, and at the very least helps people, like, dead. Everyone else is dead. I think we killed them all here. So that's the big draw of democracy, is people feel like they have a lot more control than they actually probably do, but it keeps them from rioting. So I don't know. So my thing is, like, you know, a lot of countries, you just don't have the infrastructure to make democracy work that well. Like, you don't have, people can be manipulated too easily. I mean, in a lot of, like, pretty affluent, like well-off countries, people can get manipulated a lot of times by politicians. So like thinking that democracy is going to work in these, you know, sometimes like third world countries, can be a bit naive. Sometimes it is a little bit better for a mildly corrupt official that like is still keeping the country running fairly well and just doing a little behind the deal, you know, behind the door stuff, but is like holding it together. Sometimes that's better than throwing them out and allowing other stuff to come in.
My people are counting on you.
Banana Republic. Yeah. Do you think U.S. is headed for a second civil war? I don't think so. I think most people don't want that. I think there is a group of people that wouldn't mind that. That's an increasing group of people, but I don't think so. It'd just be so hard to organize. I just don't think that's going to happen in modern day. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that'll run their mouth, and there, you know, might be some skirmishes and stuff in the streets and things, depending on how 2020 goes. But I don't think it's going to be like everyone pick a side, you know, because the geography really doesn't even make a lot of sense. It's not a geographical thing. Sort of, like some of the like Republican, Democrat stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't think so. I hope not. I mean, a huge problem are the news stations. And, like, if you think about it, a lot of, like, media is democracy at work. Like, that's, people are voting with their clicks. People are voting with their money. And so a lot of news stations no longer try to create neutral news. I tell my students about this all the time. Like, there's no neutral news station. You know, everyone has an agenda. Everyone, you know, on all sides. And that's what people want. Like, nobody wants to hear a neutral news story most of the time. Like, what actually happened. They want, like, a perspective on it, because that's what gets clicks. You know, just like in League of Legends, you have the all caps, you know, League of Legends videos that get clicks that a lot of times aren't really that great of information. Then you have people like me that don't get a ton of clicks that I think give pretty good information that's pretty measured, pretty neutral, pretty thoughtful. That's just not what people want. Like, that's not what sells. And unfortunately, like, the news information itself has become a commodity that gets sold. So that's, you know, what a lot of people need to understand is that, like, you have to be able to read between the lines on stuff, because, like, the news more so than ever is super competitive and thus has to have a democracy. You know, back in the day when it was just your local paper, they could write relatively neutral stories because there was no competition to an extent. You know, it was just kind of up to the director or whatever of the paper to say, okay, this story's worth covering, this political event, or this cat stuck in a tree, or, you know, local farmer, whatever. But yeah, now that it's been democratized by stuff like YouTube, and these, like, you know, traditional news stations are increasingly losing market share to YouTubers and other people, you got to have your all caps news stories all the time. So it always has to feel like the world's falling apart and everything's extreme and crazy, and you have to pick a side and stick with it. You know, if anyone did a flattery piece on CNN about Donald Trump, it would never get published and they might get fired. Or if anyone did a flattery piece about Bernie Sanders on Fox News, they'd probably get fired, or it wouldn't get published. So that's one of the major issues. Explain the difference between a democracy and a republic. I mean, it depends on how you're defining those things. I'm not a poli-sci major, but from what I understand, a democracy is literally where every single person can vote, like a popular vote type of thing on most issues, like a relatively pure democracy where everyone gets an equal representation on stuff. A republic is where you, I believe, is where you vote for officials to speak on your behalf, which is what America basically is, right? You have senators and congresspeople. Or like in Rome, you know, when Rome went to a republic, it's when they had their senators. So I think people just use democracy and republic like interchangeably, where it's basically people are directly voting on officials that represent them. It's just like, how many layers of bureaucracy do you want to put in between that is the question. Like, how many senators, how many different oversight committees, how many, like, all of that stuff do you want to put between yourself and the very top, I think is the big difference in the question of republic or democracy. Do you want every person in the U.S. to vote on every bill? Or do you want to delegate people to do that for you? From what I understand with China, I'm not an expert on Chinese politics, but I think they're doing closer, somewhat closer to what Socrates was saying, where you have people that are sort of in the party that are, I think, supposed to be experts in whatever their field is. So you have the economics guy that's like trained in economics and like grows up, you know, in the government and is sort of prepared for this position. He goes in, so he's supposed to be an expert in economics. So I don't know. But they definitely have some interesting stuff going on there with like a kind of blend of democracy and socialism, communism, but then also sort of this aristocracy kind of thing. Plato always wanted philosopher kings, right? People who are deeply thoughtful and compassionate. So, and you just can't, unfortunately, find a lot of those people. Like, you can do it, but there's always going to be corruption, and you have to find ways to check it. And that's,
You don't have the heart for this.
that's part of the problem. I mean, the best thing you can possibly do to improve a society is to educate the populace. Like, that is by far the best investment you can ever give, is to have an educated populace. That's the biggest check on corruption. But a lot of people who make these decisions don't want the population to be educated. Right? It's harder to manipulate an educated populace. So it's not really in the best interest of people who have power or are in charge to have an educated populace. You can see that reflected in the public school system. Like, that's why our schools are falling apart in most places of the country. But I'm not like all Illuminati. They're trying to hold people down and stuff like that in tinfoil hats, but it's not a priority because, you know, it's actually antithetical to most people that are near the top. But education in some ways is democratizing to an extent to where people, you can learn a lot of stuff and get a pretty good education off of just like paying attention and like watching YouTube videos, but you have to know how to sift through information. It's the most important thing. But China, I mean, I would be very interested to learn a lot more about Chinese politics. I wish I could take a class on like modern day China. That'd be really cool. But it's hard to figure out some of that stuff too because they don't like report or make a lot of that stuff public. But I have had a lot of Chinese students in my classes when I taught in Ohio. That place specifically had a lot of that. Oh God. Oh, someone dodged. Thank God. Get me out of that. That's exactly right. A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing, as the old, I don't remember who said that, the old accent is. Interdimensional beings. Maybe, I mean, maybe the reptilians or the whatevers are... Sadie, chill. We just fed you. Like, how long ago was it? An hour that I fed her? Why are there so many Sivers? I don't know. She has a pretty high win rate. Vayne and Lucian get banned almost every game. People may just not want to play Ezreal, so Sivir might be next on the food chain. No, I think the jungle Sivir was switching with the Yi. So it was going to be jungle Yi, bottom Sivir. I think they were a duo that was switching or something. No, yeah, so here's the thing people don't understand about real education. Real education is not knowing things, it's knowing how to think. That's real education. If you know how to think, you can learn things. But if you know things, you can't necessarily learn how to think. Like, that's the issue, and that's the big problem with the current K through 12 like standardized testing system. Wait, what the fuck? What? Hold on, how did I dodge that? What? I thought someone else dodged. I mean, I was probably going to dodge it, to be fair, but like... Hold on. You see that? It went back to 5 seconds. That's why it threw me off. I was looking at the chat and then I looked up and I had 5 seconds left. So I was like, okay. It went from like 2 seconds to 5 seconds and I didn't see that switch. Hold on, wait. Did it just go back up from 7 to 9? Let me watch this countdown here. We've got time. We're waiting on a dodge now. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4. Fizz locked in at 0. His didn't go back to 5. I thought it went back from 7 to 9 also. Maybe not. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 0. That's why I thought someone else dodged. Because I was like, I had 4 seconds left. Anyways, I guess we're hanging out for a minute. Can look at this. What are we at after that dodge? $20 LP. Oh, they're no longer doing the Teemo stuff. Okay. Okay, so maiden damage is lowered. 0, what? Oh, and a certain percentage? 3 to 9%, okay. Healing changed from flat value plus percentage missing health to value based on missing health, so there is no flat value. 5 to 30 based on missing health. Targon's Brace 10 to 60 based on missing health. I don't know what that means. I assume it's a nerf. There aren't any more Teemo changes. They were basically going to make him like to where he could move around invisible for a limited amount of time, and they're going to nerf his traps a lot. Hey, thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. Yeah, Storm Razor's awful. Price-wise. Maybe this will make people get it. I doubt it, though. It's attack damage and attack speed that interacts with energized weapons. Oh, are they doing the energized thing next patch? It says energized on it. Passive energized. Well, now it's named energized. They didn't do that on this patch, did they? I thought they didn't do that. I didn't see that in the patch notes. Let me... I thought they took that out. Was that in the patch notes? So you can't have double stuff anymore. Let me see if this guy plays Vayne or not. No, plays Lucian. Okay.
Impure fools.
Let's play some Vayne. But I thought they took that out. I don't remember talking about that in the patch notes. Yeah, Teemo's unchanged. Okay, Conquer is... So scaling it goes to 2 to 6. That's way, way weaker. Cut down. Okay, whatever. Really? That's it? That's such a small patch, right? Or am I guess there is some stuff in there, but... I'm gonna Nami, I guess. Hopefully this dude picks Lucian.
I decide
Jesus
what the tide
Christ.
will bring.
Do I get to lock in or what? Like... My whole thing is, why does it count down perfectly until it starts to get close to 0, and then it just starts jumping all over the place? I mean, this guy's pretty good on Fiddle Jungle. Yeah, usually it's terrible. This guy has a 32% win rate. How is that even possible? Wait, dude didn't pick Lucian. Fucking... Oh, I guess we're dodging. Lucian's open. He's 63%. He's like, nah, man. Let me go. I'm gold 1. Let me go with my 45% Jinx here. Well, that might be it. Let me see. They had Jax, Vlad, Lucian. I don't even remember what. I didn't need to see anything else after that. We had like 32% win rate. Nasus. 48% rate. Zoe. 45% rate. Jinx. It's like nobody was on a champion. They had 50%. I guess Fiddlesticks was, but Fiddlesticks is really off meta also. It is, yeah. I might just call it there if it's a 30-minute timer. I'm just making sure that I didn't, and we'll just get back at it tomorrow. If the client can load up. I'm a little worried about how long it's taken to load this up. Yeah, and Nunu. So they had, like, top 3 top laner, top 3 jungler, like number 1 AD carry, top 3 mid laner, and then Vel'Koz. I mean, they had basically one of the best teams you could possibly draw up. I mean, my comp's fine. Like, I don't understand what the deal is. I mean, I'm only using 65% of my memory right now. $27% CPU, like. I don't know. It doesn't look like I'm in the game because it took me to this. I swear to God, I better not be in the game. I dodged it like 4 seconds. The fuck? Dude, if I get like, if I'm in this game and I get lever busted or something, I'm gonna be irate. I mean, yeah, it says the game is there. I'm gonna get lever busted, aren't I? It's not gonna let me in the game. I'm gonna get a loss, and I'm gonna get flagged by lever buster. Fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. So I get a loss for that. And I get a lever buster flag for a game that I dodged at like 5 seconds. And now I get a loss for it. Because the client won't let me log in of a game that I left with like 4 or 5 seconds left off a dodge. Yep, so now we're at 3 LP. Awesome. Unbelievable. All right, well, we got to go out on this. No, it's not like a dodge. You get the full loss, and you lose MMR. It is not a dodge. It is much, much worse than a dodge. I lost the 17. I was at 20. No. A dodge, you don't lose MMR, and you lose 10. No, I don't think this is my lesson to learn. Like, I can't log into the freaking client to even play it. Like, this is not my lesson to learn. You still do it because I shouldn't have to dodge every single game where there's troll shit going on. Like, other people dodge at 1 second. I'm not dodging at 1 second. I was dodging at like 5 seconds, 4 seconds. And it wouldn't even let me back into the game. Like, that's the thing, is I couldn't even get on the client to go into the game that it refused to let me dodge. If I dodge every single time there's something troll going on at 15 seconds, I'm going to lose like 500 LP a week. Because no one else is going to have to dodge. I'm going to do it every single time. I shouldn't have to do that. It's not right. Okay, well, that's it for this stream. We'll get back at it tomorrow. We'll see what we can get. Anyways, that's it. Yeah, just leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Sorry for the rough night. And I'll see y'all next time.